everybody, my name is Tanya and this is my Christmas book haul. Before I get into what I got for Christmas though, there are a few things that I purchased prior to Christmas that I hadn't got around to hauling yet, so I'll just run through those first. First off, I've got book versions of a couple of webcomics. The first one is the 5th volume of Questionable Content. This one is by Jeff Jacks, or Jack, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce his name still, but this is a webcomic that I've been following for quite a long time now. I have read everything that's in here as a webcomic online. He posts comics Monday to Friday, and so everything that's in here I've read. I'm not quite sure how far behind this is on the current storyline, but looking at the art it looks like it's quite a long way away. This is a webcomic that I really enjoy, and as the volumes are being released in book form, I'm collecting them because it's nice to have them as a physical item and also to support the artist. I also took up the opportunity of getting this one personalised when it was released, so it's the Stage 2 Tanya and a picture of Faye there. This one's just kind of a slice of life comic of various 20-somethings in Massachusetts, I think. It follows a main character of Martin Reed and his roommate Faye and quite a large cast of their friends and different characters. It's kind of just their lives, their loves, hijinks ensue. You know, it's just, I'm hooked. I've been reading it for years. Really enjoy the storyline. Definitely care a lot for the characters. And so, like I said, as the books are released, I am collecting them. And the second webcomic related book I have is Step Side Pops, which is the new collection by Kate Beaton. This is her Harker Vagrant comic. I don't follow this one, the webcomic, as religiously as I do Questionable Content. I go through stages where I read some of them and then don't, so it's quite possible that most of the comics in here I have not read yet, so I'm looking forward to diving into this too. Again, you know, they're things that you can get online, but it's nice to have a physical object to look at as well and to support the artist. I'm sure you're familiar with Kate Beaton, but basically she does a range of kind of literary or history, particularly Canadian history inspired comics. Some of the Canadian ones I maybe don't get as much as I should, but a lot of world history is covered too, and her literary ones are genius. There's not in this one, but in her first collection, Dude Watching with the Brontes is my absolute favourite comic of hers. It is just genius, and if you're not aware of it, you should check it out. I'll try and remember to find that one and link it down in the description. Then the next two books I've got are new additions to the Virago Modern Classic Designer editions, which I had to pick up, and from that you may be able to guess what they are. They're the two short story collections that have been released by Daphne du Maurier. We've got Don't Look Now and The Birds. I've not read any short stories by Daphne du Maurier, but I'm really looking forward to getting into these. I don't really know all that much about the specifics of these ones, except it was Daphne du Maurier. I've read a couple of books by her and absolutely adored them, so these were a no-brainer that I had to collect. And then the last thing I've got here is very exciting, and that is the poetry pamphlet of 100 Poems by Jen Campbell. Jen Campbell, of course, is a booktuber and an author, and recently she wrote 100 poems in 48 hours to raise money for charity. This time around it was for the book bus. It's something she's done before, and one of the perks of the campaign, the fundraising campaign, was to get a pamphlet version of the 100 poems. So of course I wanted to have this in my possession. I have read all the poems on the blog as she was writing them, which I'll link down below. They're all there, still available to read. But the pamphlet was just a one-off as part of that fundraising campaign. As I mentioned earlier, the purpose of this challenge was to raise money for the Book Bus, which is an organisation that provides mobile library services to children in rural communities and schools. They mainly work with rural schools in Zambia and Malawi and India and Ecuador, and it's a wonderful organisation, and it was well worth donating to get a hold of this and to support them. And these are just beautiful. As I said, I read all these as Jen was writing them and kind of, you know, went along with her, and they're just beautiful. I'm not a huge poetry reader, or at least I've not been a huge poetry reader. I haven't really tried, but this I like. If you're not aware of Jen, and I'm sure you all will be aware of Jen, I will link her YouTube channel down in the description, and you should definitely check out the poems because they were fantastic. Now moving on to my Christmas haul, I've got a few books that I received and also a few bookish items, so focusing on those first. This year I did a Christmas card exchange with a number of different Booktube ladies, which was wonderful, and I got some beautiful cards which I haven't bought in, but in those cards were a few little goodies as well, so I just wanted to share what I got there, and those goodies were quite a few bookmarks. So the first one I've got here is this gorgeous little penguin bookmark. He's a little magnet one and the same on either side, and this was sent to me by the very lovely Eleanor at Eleanor Reads Books. So we've already been using this one through the month of December, and I'm actually quite enjoying it. I've not had a magnet bookmark before, but this is a definite winner, so I might have to invest in some more of these in the future. But thank you, Eleanor, for this. It is so adorable. The next one I have is from the lovely Yummy at the Skeptical Reader, and from her I got this gorgeous Dr. Seuss bookmark, and so it's got a scene from The Cat in the Hat. And again, I've been putting this one to good use. I've had to steal it out of my current read to show you here. And then lastly, I was absolutely spoiled, and I got an amazing package from Ange from Beyond the Pages, and she's given me 5 amazing bookmarks that she has made herself. So the first is this one, which says "Home is where my books are," which is incredibly true, and I just love the pattern and the colour of this one. It is just beautiful. The next is this one, which is a quote from Jane Eyre, which says, "I would always rather be happy than dignified." That's my phone. Then this yellow one that says, "I like good books and I cannot lie." And yes, I want to make all the Sir Mix-a-Lot puns right now, but I am restraining myself. But it's very true. I am fond of a big book, so... And again, this is beautiful. We've got this one, which has the proposal quote from Pride and Prejudice. So, "In vain I have struggled and will not do, my feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you." And it has a tassel with a little Pride and Prejudice thing on there, and I think it's just so pretty. And then the last one is, "I like to party, and by party I mean read books," and the tassel on this one says "party." And again, very true. Not a big party animal, definitely a big reader. So thank you so much to Ange. I love each and every one of these, and yes, I'm gonna have to set up a rotation of my bookmarks now because I have so much choice and it's fantastic. So thank you so much to Eleanor and Yamini and Ange, and to everybody that I exchanged cards with. I don't usually do cards and we don't receive a lot at our house, so it was exciting getting some, bookish Christmas mail, and yes, it was lovely. The next I did a Booktube Secret Santa with a group of lovely ladies, and my Secret Santa turned out to be Jean from Jean Bookish Thoughts, and she got me Extra Obvious 50 New Myths, edited by Kate Bernheimer. And so this is a collection of, new rewritten myths by a lot of amazing modern authors that I have heard lots of fantastic things about, and I am really excited to get into this. Jean recently hauled this herself. I've had this on my wishlist for a little while after seeing it somewhere on Booktube, but she recently got this herself, so hoping to read this one together, and it's going to be fantastic. So the back says, 50 leading writers retell their favourite myths from around the world in this book of boundless wonder and invention. And I am so excited to get this one. It's definitely quite a hefty book, and it would be having 50 myths in, and I said that at the time, like, dirt, it's pretty obvious it's going to be quite a large book, so I was very, very spoilt, and it looks fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to diving into this. And I got a few bookish Christmas gifts from my mother. The first of those is Tarot of Thorns by Juliet Marillier. This is the second book in her Blackthorn and Grimm series, and it was released later in 2015. I haven't got around to picking it up yet, so I'm so glad to have got it for Christmas. I'm actually listening to this one at the moment with my mother on audiobook. We listened to the first book at the start of 2015, so currently listening to that, not very far in yet, but really, really loving it. So won't be actually reading this physical copy, but it's something that I have to have on my shelf. Next up, I've got Ancillary Mercy by Anne Leckie. This, of course, is the third book in the Imperial Rats trilogy, and I read Ancillary Justice in 2015, quite a while ago. I've been meaning to go on and read Ancillary Sword. It just hasn't happened yet. Ancillary Mercy, the third book in the trilogy, has now been released, so I'm hoping now that this one is out, I might reread Ancillary Mercy and then marathon these at some point in time. I don't know much specifically about this one because it's the third in the series, and I'm not reading the back because of that reason, but I am super excited to get to this and see where the story goes. And the last book that I got on Christmas Day is something that I showed already in my Holiday Booktubeathon TBR video, and that is the glorious illustrated Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and I have since read this already. It is absolutely stunning, and I am so excited to get this. When it first was announced that an illustrated Harry Potter was coming out, I was kind of a little bit interested but not really excited. I know that there was a lot of hype, but as time's gone on and more people have been hauling it and showing some of the images, I got more and more interested, so I'm really, really excited to have this, and now that I've read it, I can say it's definitely a work of art, and really looking forward to the day that I've got a full set of the illustrated editions on my shelf, because it will be beautiful. And then I've got one last item that didn't quite arrive in time for Christmas, but I got it a few days later, and it's a little bit of a joke and a little bit not, and that is Adulting, How to Become a Grown-Up in 468 Easy-ish Steps by Kelly Williams Brown. And this one my mother got to me, like I said, a little bit of a joke, and to be fair, I did actually tell her about it first, but I live with my mother at the moment, but as events transpire, she's going to be moving out this month. So I know that you're kind of going, what? Which is a little bit backwards, But yes, I'm staying here, and my mother's moving out to move in with her partner and to, try living together. And, so the joke is, haha, now I'm going to have to be an adult, because I'm not already. So yes, now I have a book on adulting, so I can, do it properly. I flipped through this one. It looks quite amusing. I've heard various things on Booktube about it. So, when it came out that she was going to be moving, I mentioned this book, in a laughing way. So, but I was actually interested in it, so I love that we've kind of gone ahead and grabbed it. So I will have to read this one very shortly before I am living on my own and learn how to adult properly. So these are the books that I have acquired recently or was very kindly gifted for Christmas. I'm super excited about everything here and hoping that I can read some more of the books that I'm hauling instead of them sitting on my shelves for a long time, like all of the books that I own. So let me know in the comments what you got for Christmas and what you think of the books that I got, and if there's anything you think I should read sooner rather than later. As always, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!